The 16-bit era was the height of the beat 'em up, but with so many to play at that time, there was bound to be a few gems that got overlooked. So when you consider the competition that Mystical Fighter had to go up against, it's no surprise this little title got lost in the shuffle and was ultimately forgotten. I've played my fair share of beat 'em ups, but even I was surprised to have missed out on this game. But after doing some research, I found out it was never released in Europe, only in Japan and America. So it begs the question, why never release this game in Europe? Who knows, but thanks to the powers of emulation, we can now all enjoy this overlooked beat 'em up. Mystical Fighter is a blend of many different beat 'em ups you might have played before. It has the grab and throw gameplay mechanic of something like Two Crew Dudes, the horizontal and vertical planes of movement as seen in games like Streets of Rage, and just for kicks, let's throw in a magic system very reminiscent of Golden Axe. And tying all these different gameplay elements together is a theme centered around Japanese mythology, where you and your player 2 get to play as Kabukis, who have to defeat some evil Kabuki lord of the Japanese underworld, or something like that. Okay, what is a Kabuki? Well, a Kabuki is some kind of performer of Kabuki. It's a dance drama that dates way back in Japanese history. As fascinating as the Kabuki must be, you don't need to know a single thing about them or this game's story to enjoy Mystical Fighter. At first glance, Mystical Fighter doesn't come off as anything more than your average beat 'em up. But once you start messing around with throwing, you soon realise this ain't no typical beat 'em up. It wouldn't be a beat 'em up if you didn't have your trusty punch, kick and jump kick to fall back on. However, to truly master this game, you need to become a throw and combo Kabuki master. It's just so much fun throwing dudes into other dudes. But when you start experimenting with your throws, interesting things start to happen. You can throw a foe and shortly after he gets up, slide kick right back into him and then lead that into a reverse drop. You can also spin dudes into other evil dudes and then throw them at the next wave of incoming enemies. But the longer you spin your foes without throwing them, the more health you will lose. Heck, you can even throw your buddy at the enemy to give you that edge. Really, there is no limit to the kind of combos you can perform. Mystical Fighter is a lot of fun if you love experimenting and learning to chain attacks together, but outside of grabbing and throwing, there isn't a lot of depth here. But then again, how much depth is there to the average beat 'em up? But there are secret rooms to discover filled with health and magic scrolls, so that's something else that keeps things interesting. Magic scrolls work the exact same way as Golden Axe's magic pots. Once you collect one scroll, you can at will inflict magic damage on your foes. The more scrolls you collect, the more powerful your magic becomes. Normally I would say just save your magic for the boss battles, but if you did that you might be wasting your magic's potential. The reason why is because every boss has a pattern that can be exploited, and once you figure that out, it almost renders magic useless for boss battles. Sure, using magic on the bosses will help you defeat them a tad bit quicker, but I think you're better off using magic on the regular dudes you battle, which can be unpredictable. Also, there are boomerang fans and size to help even the playing field, and sushi to restore your health. This game certainly doesn't push the Mega Drive in the graphics department. In fact, the first time I played it, I thought it might have been a launch title, or at the very least a first generation Mega Drive game, because it doesn't look like a title that came out in 1991. Mystical Fighter isn't a long game with its 5 stages, 6 if you play on hard mode. While the ride may be short, it's got one hell of an incredible soundtrack to it. I would even go as far to say that Mystical Fighter has one of the best soundtracks to grace the Genesis. Sure, the music doesn't make you feel like you're in ancient Japan, but so what? With these types of games, I would rather have some pumping tunes to amp up the excitement rather than set up the mood and tone. So, apart from this game being short, a bit lackluster in its visuals, and continuing the gaming trope of repetitive gameplay found in almost all beat-em-ups, Mystical Fighter is a game that gets what it needs to right, and that is fun gameplay with some rockin' tunes. So, if you're a beat-em-up junkie looking for your next hit, then look no further. Thank you for watching, and see you soon.